And make a few more things here. Carve out a little 3x3 in each area. That's going to be very important. Let's see, some nice dark oak stairs. I think I can get rid of this glowstone. Don't need that. It's a little dark in here, but that's okay. That should be fixed right up when we do that. And we're going to want these little 3x3 ceiling lights in every area. Oh, careful. Don't want to break anything. Let's see, put that over there, and over here. Alright, so that should provide some lovely backlighting to the home. See, just basic foundations, how it looks from the outside. It looks okay. Yeah, alright, let's keep going with this. Oh hey guys, I didn't see you there. Welcome to our Star Trek watch-along. This is Star Trek, I'm pretty sure. You know, it's been a while since I've seen these particular episodes, but I'm sure this was in it. I seem to recall Cisco building a home, at least once. That might have been in Season 7, but you know. How's it going? We are watching some very good episodes today. We're actually getting into some actual good stuff. The first episode is going to be the Jem'Hadar, where, I mean, as the name would imply, we meet the Jem'Hadar. They're pretty cool. You guys got a favorite Jem'Hadar? I'd say my favorite Jem'Hadar is Ramataclan. But I mean, that guy who also talks to Dax about her age and is like, I am 6. That guy's pretty cool too. I don't know his name though. Oh yeah, we meet a Vorta. I don't know the Vorta's name. Actually, I don't know any of the Jem'Hadar in this episode's name either. We do meet a Vorta. Actually, I think her name is Eris. I think the Vorta's name is Eris. It's not Weyoun. We don't meet Weyoun until the episode where they're teaming up with the Jem'Hadar to destroy an Iconian gateway. No, this is the Lady Jem'Hadar. Actually, Eris might be the other Lady Jem'Hadar from the episode The Ship. I don't know. There's a Jem'Hadar named Eris somewhere. I don't know which one. No, this is the episode where they, spoilers for the next couple minutes if you don't want to be spoiled on the episode. I like the ceiling. So, in this episode, they're going to be, Cisco, Quark, Nog, and Jake are going to go over for a trip to the Gamma Quadrant. For Jake's science class or whatever. And then Cisco and Quark are going to get captured by the Jem'Hadar. And they're going to be put in a prison with a Vorta who's pretending to be a prisoner. Because she wants to try and get to know them. Get some information on the Federation. And then Jake and Nog are going to get out of there, and it's going to be a whole thing. Let's see. I've got another minute to do this. I don't want to make the roof right now. I just need... What size rooms do I want? I think I want to leave the entryway somewhat large. Maybe some like that. And then this isn't going to be the actual wall. But some like this. I want the entryway to have a little bit of space so it's not immediately claustrophobic as soon as you walk in. In fact, maybe go like this. And then I can have a door... I don't know if I want to have doors here, here, and here. That seems a little crowded. But at the same time, I don't know if I want a door here, here, and here. Because I don't really want it to be perfectly symmetrical. Or rather, I don't want all the doors to be facing the same direction. It looks okay, though. Maybe that'll work. Maybe that will work. Well, no, I do want doors. In particular, I want the dark oak doors, because I think they're the nicest looking ones. I like the dark oak doors. But Minecraft is over. We're, Star Trek. Season 2, Episode 26, The Jem'Hadar. We'll be starting very shortly. Oh, hey, Mike. We can get back to Minecraft after the episode. Press play in 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, play. Yep, there's Jake. Jaco doing his initial science experiment, which is trash. He needs a better science experiment. So that's what caterpods are. I think this might be the only time we see Bajoran caterpods. We know the Bajorans eat them, because they talk a lot about the caterpod harvest and feeding the provinces. So apparently the Bajorans' diet consists of a lot of mushrooms. That's not a science project, Jake. Yeah, what do you want about? You would grow more mushrooms, gamma quadrant mushrooms. Planetary survey? That seems a little... That seems like it might be a little too difficult for Jake, who's just a kid with no training. We had an episode on the on TNG about a planetary survey, and it was a team of 4 people who were highly qualified. Find a species to contact? Yeah, that seems good. Let Jake make first contact with another species. That should work out. Maybe he can do an asteroid survey. Hello there. I mean, she is a little arrogant. But just a little bit. Typical Nog. Typical Nog. Nog can't read yet, can he? Or is he able to read?
Yeah, he can now.
Okay. Yeah, that had to have been a season 1 or 2 episode. But he just wanted to have a trip with his son. Now you're bringing along this Ferengi kid? Poor Cisco. What episode is 202? I mean, I don't know offhand, but I can find out. DS9 Season 2. Season 2, Episode 2 is The Circle. That's part of a 3-parter episode. The one we're watching now is Season 2, Episode 26. The Jem'Hadar.
Season finale.
Season finale. It's the Jem'Hadar. The name of the current episode will be on screen at the top there. Assuming I remember to update it. But, you know, generally I get that within a few minutes of the episode starting. Generally I remember.
It is there.
Yeah.
We're on point, guys. This is not...
Do we need another Star Trek supercut of all the times Odo goes harumph? That might be good. That would also be really, really difficult, though, because I don't think those are in the transcripts. Or if they are, they're going to be different words every time he harumphs. Oh, hey, Morn. That would definitely take some doing. It'd be nice to have, though. Be able to go back and just listen to Odo harumph for 5 to 10 minutes. Was that even the bar? I wasn't... They were on the promenade a second ago. Yeah, it was the bar. I don't know.
Yeah,
It might have been a different seat.
Second floor entrance to Quark's.
Okay. Why do I hear rain? It's not raining outside. Oh, it's raining in Minecraft. I didn't actually close the game. Okay. I was like, what? But it's sunny outside. There's no audio going through anyone else's microphone. Hang on, let me. You can't even see the rain too well with the shader. Yeah, here we go. There's the... This is what I was hearing. Maybe I should just close that. There we go. No more rain sounds. It was raining a lot
Sweet.
last night. We got some nice hail. It was lovely. Good sounds to go to sleep to.
Got hail.
Everyone. We got hail.
Oh.
It's the winter now, and I live in a very rainy area. So this is our wet season. Why is that the first thing you want to know, Nog? Ah, Molly Hagan as Eris, the credit said. It is Eris. That is going to be our Vorta for the day.
Doesn't she die?
No, she teleports away at the end of the episode.
It's a Final Fantasy VII joke.
Oh. Oh, okay. No, Quark, you can't just... That's not even a good lie, Quark. If you were going to send someone, you'd send Rom. Yeah. Oh, I'm surprised Cisco didn't pronounce it human. I feel like they usually do pronounce it human in this kind of context to sort of mock the Ferengi. Oh, no. Quark got lucky there. Oh, if Jake didn't show up right then, Quark was going to have a bad time. He got lucky this time. Is that South America? Or Central America? DS9, the Jem'Hadar, filming location.
I mean, I'm gonna guess it's Southern California.
But was that overhead shot also of California?
Yeah, I got you.
Because this was, yeah, this part was filmed in, well, you might know it as Sherwood Forest from TNG.
Yeah, good observation.
Oh, I didn't observe that. That Wikipedia observed that for me. Thanks, Wikipedia.
The other overhead shot did look like Machu Picchu though, almost, but
Yeah, it looked like Central America to me, but I don't know if I'm going to find any information about that. I'm certainly not going to go into Google Earth and try to find it. That's a lot of ferns. What even is that? Is that sunscreen for his ears? You love insects. What do you want about Quark? Yeah, that would... Yeah, having advertisement playing all over the station, that might be a little uncomfortable for everyone. What could Quark even offer them for use of the monitors? Just... all he has is liquor. What's he gonna offer Starfleet? %3 of his profit, very generous. That sounds about right. Mostly nitrogen, good chunk of oxygen. That carbon dioxide sounded a little high.
So, did it really?
Well, Earth's atmosphere is 0.04% CO2 instead of 2%, so it's a little bit higher. About 50 times, but you know, it's probably fine.
We're working on it.
Oh yeah, we'll get there. Look at this place. This place looks beautiful. If we get to 2% CO2, we can have this sort of lush Sherwood Forest look.
Just keep burning the forest more.
Yeah, what do you want about Quark? You eat bugs.
Even snort bugs with the Hyperion beetle snuff.
Yep. Ferengi probably would be pretty uncomfortable in clear, sunny areas, given that Ferenginar is just constantly raining. It's one giant swamp. Very
London,
different
basically.
environment. Even acid rain on Ferenginar. Real nice place. Should visit sometime. It's good that they gave Jake a communicator here. So, if he gets lost somewhere, I mean, hopefully that he just won't. Quark, how did that even happen? How did you set yourself on fire? Were you reaching into the... He was trying to grab the pot, wasn't he? Yeah, Quark, you have no one to blame but yourself for this. You reached into a fire. That's your own fault. Also, unrelated question. Why didn't they land the runabout? Why did they beam down? Because it's still just hanging out in orbit. Seems needlessly risky. What if they lose communications with it? What if there's, I don't know, something else? What if someone else shows up? You can totally land the runabout. They're capable of that. Just bring it down. What if you need emergency supplies? You can just go to the runabout. It's right there. Oh, hey, Eris.
We never see that again.
Yeah. The psychic power Vorta.
Care Bear stare.
I recognize that man's facial structure. Who plays that Jem'Hadar? Now I'm looking up the Jem'Hadar again. DS9,
Um,
Jem'Hadar.
I remember that he's somebody that is actually like recognizable, but I don't remember who.
Yeah, he definitely shows up elsewhere in Star Trek, but just... Is his name Talaktalan? Yeah, that's Talaktalan. No, this is only Star Trek appearance, but he's in a whole bunch of other stuff. Nothing I recognize, though. Interesting. Or was that Michael Jace? Was that Talaktalan or was that Jem'Hadar First Officer? No, that can't be Michael Jace. Michael Jace is the First Officer of the Odyssey. Quark, it's a little too late. I don't think the Jem'Hadar are gonna bargain.
You know, Quark is pretty oblivious to the fact that Cisco saved him from catching fire, because he seemed to have no idea how to put out a fire.
It would be so helpful if they had a Betazoid here. It would solve so many of their problems.
Screaming is probably what led the female Vorta to them in the first place.
See, if they had landed the runabout, they could just get into the runabout. Now they have to find some way to beam up to it. Is that even a security field, or is it just a pretty light on the floor? Is there? I don't think there's anything there. Try throwing some dirt at it or something, see if it actually does anything. The runabout might have been captured by the Jem'Hadar, but I mean, if they're here anyway, they're gonna see it in orbit. They have a ship. Where is their ship, actually? They must have one. And Jem'Hadar ships don't have a cloaking device. Maybe they showed up after the runabout and everyone beamed down. Yep, bad idea, Quark. Don't do that. Why has nobody mentioned the Jem'Hadar? People have talked about, like, consequences if they make deals outside of the Dominion. But nobody mentioned the Jem'Hadar being those consequences. They were just very vague about it. I guess it needs to be a nice secret. Yeah, you don't have telekinetic powers. That's not true. Kirill Prime, though. It's probably not safe to assume that Kirill Prime is actually the Vorta homeworld, because Eris here, not exactly a friend. It seems like the Jem'Hadar are the only way they enforce law. Anytime people specify how they were punished, it's always the Jem'Hadar. There was the episode with the plague, but it was the plague and the Jem'Hadar. Quark is salivating over there. It's like, a fancy locking mechanism? Something I can do? So even if they escape, what's their plan here? Because they don't have their communicators anymore, so they can't contact the runabout. And because the runabout's in orbit, they can't just walk to it. Where are they gonna go? I guess they're gonna try and find Nog and Jake. That's racist, Nog.
So
What do you mean they
if
don't look friendly? Go ahead.
Nog and Jake hadn't run off, then basically that would have been the end of Cisco and Quark and family as we know it. Because like you said, the runabout's in orbit. So it would have been game over for the show.
Except, Eris and the Jem'Hadar actually want them to escape. That's the plan. So I'm thinking, what would happen if Jake and Nog were in this cell? If they were in this cell, they wouldn't have gotten in the... Honestly, Jake and Nog don't really do anything. I would guess the Jem'Hadar would have let the Odyssey make its way to this planet and try and rescue them. And then destroy the Odyssey. Maybe let Major Kira beam up Cisco in a runabout and let them escape? This guy's so familiar, but apparently I don't know him from anywhere. Rude. Is this the only time in the entire series that the Jem'Hadar used deception? I guess you could argue that those, Houdini mines from Siege of AR-558 are deception, kind of. They're kind of tricky. But for the most part, they just kind of run in and shoot everything and stab people.
It is the first appearance, so like they're not established at all yet.
Yeah. I mean, he might be right about that. The Cardassian Treaty is... It didn't seem to really accomplish much of anything. It just kind of got a temporary ceasefire. And the Cardassians are still trying to start a war with them again. How many times do the Cardassians try to start a war with the Federation? There's that bit with the, where Picard gets captured. There's the part where Captain...
Part 1 and 2.
Yeah. There's the part where Captain Maxwell discovers they've been arming border stations. I think that counts.
It's the same episode.
No, that's the one with that's the
Jellicoe.
wounded.
Sorry. Yeah, sorry. Go ahead.
I think there's a third, but I don't remember what.
I mean, there was a war too. You know, like the actual war, which O'Brien went through.
Yeah. Well, it's very helpful of you, computer. Normally the computer just says unable to comply and doesn't elaborate. It's actually been helpful. Does that command make sense, though? Disengage autopilot and lay in a course. Surely if you disengage the autopilot, it can't lay in the course. By definition.
It's a good observation.
And it's gone. I get. Well, it's a good thing Jake's been taking lessons. It's all coming together. Jake works for the chief. Chief shows him how to work a runabout. He needs to work a runabout.
Good thing he decided not to work at Quark's, or his father didn't let him. His original request was to work at the double tables.
Oh, there's the Jem'Hadar ship we all know and love. The Locust. Yeah, why did O'Brien teach him how to bypass lockouts? Why was that the lesson? Third Taloktalon, so that is Taloktalon. Then who's the first?
Remember their clones?
Dax, I don't know if you have the authority to say what you can and can't do on the other side of the wormhole. Oh, and we learned about New Bajor, specifically the fact that it's not there anymore. New Bajor.
Well, they've mentioned New Bajor before.
Yeah.
Only a couple times, but yeah, it has been mentioned before.
Now we know it's destroyed. It's a little bit rude to just destroy someone else's colony, but I mean, it is what it is. The colony's already destroyed, so just gotta work with it. The one time Bajorans try to expand off Bajor. One time. Other than, the refugee camps. They have a few of those. It's unfortunate that the Dominion, if they really wanted to conquer the Alpha Quadrant right now, they could just do it. Because the Federation needs like a few years to develop a defense against Dominion weapons. The Dominion went through right now, they just win immediately. But no, they gotta wait, they gotta be careful, they gotta take their time. Just attack, and you'll win.
I refuse to believe that a society as capitalist as Ferengis are never figured out slavery.
It's not slavery, it's just indentured servitude forever.
I mean,
Don't
well,
worry
whatever
about it.
helps them sleep at night, I suppose. But like, there's no way Ferengi society never experimented at the very least with
Yeah.
slavery.
They're not really big on social rights.
And their treatment of women is pretty approximate to slavery.
Absolutely.
Good job, Jake. Let's destroy the runabout. The guidance and navigational relay sounds really important, though. Are you sure you want to disable that? That seems... That's... not a real... whatever.
It's like the registry edit of Starship. Shuttle.
Yes, thank you, computer. You can't lay in a course if it doesn't have an autopilot. You just gotta fly manually. I don't know what Jake was expecting here. Well, I know what he was expecting. I don't know why he was expecting it. Typical Jake. Oh, hey, it's that same shot from the pilot episode. This guy always seems... His method of acting, or the way he carries himself as an officer, is a lot different from most of the Starfleet officers we meet. He's a lot more formal. He sounds like he's a radio host, is what it is.
It sounds like they couldn't get Patrick Stewart to do this.
Well, no. So the whole idea of the Odyssey is that they wanted to destroy something on screen that was approximate to the Enterprise D because they wanted it to have impact.
Yeah.
So it was never going to be Patrick Stewart because, of course, they wouldn't let them destroy the Enterprise on Deep Space Nine. But, you know, I don't know why they picked this guy, but whatever.
I mean, I like him. He's just different.
Sure.
I also don't know how to
The
pronounce his name because it's like Keogh.
They call him Kyo.
Keo?
Yeah, as in like the Korean car manufacturer, but with an O instead of an A.
Sure.
It's nice of them to save money on that establishment shot.
I doubt they mentioned the...
We're still in season 2, so they're probably filming Generations at this point, also, or writing it.
The Ganges? Is it the Ganges? Yeah, this episode aired after the final episode of TNG aired. They were probably filming around the same time, though.
I don't know how that happened, but hey, I'm back. Don't worry, I didn't say anything important. Just that, they don't use the term Odyssey anywhere in TNG. Why don't you try it, Nog? No, it'll take you years. Yeah, 5 years. Impulse? Honestly, you're not even going at, like, 1/10 impulse. You're just sort of meandering. It's the Rio Grande.
Oh, well.
Man, O'Brien's gonna be so upset when he finds out that Jake damaged his favorite shuttlecraft. You're not allowed to deal damage to the Rio Grande. Absolutely ridiculous. They could have had a third runabout, but no. Jake messed it up. Completely worthless now. Oh, that's a bit of foreshadowing there. Most suppressors have been a lot bulkier, he says. Wait, what are you doing, man? He had a gun, and he ran at them and tried to hit them physically with the gun. What do you have the gun for? Same thing with this guy. He's trying to hit them with the gun.
So they may want to keep the prisoners alive, and I'm pretty sure Jem'Hadar weapons do not have a stun setting.
Yeah, no, they have that anti-coagulant thing, so if you shoot someone and it's a glancing blow, doesn't matter if it's glancing because they're gonna bleed out.
Yep.
And of course there's Michael Jace. That was that guy. And we do know they actually want Sisko to escape. So they wanna... Yeah. They don't want to kill him.
So the same guy that I showed you a few weeks ago that did the Yamato bridge also did an interpretation of the Odyssey bridge. And this one does look different than the traditional Galaxy class.
Okay.
He based it on what he could see on screen and then kind of extrapolated the rest. I'll throw it in the Discord.
Oh, see, they fire one volley and the Odyssey is basically completely disabled.
Yeah.
So, if the Dominion just invaded the Alpha Quadrant right now, they just win immediately.
Plus, that first Jem'Hadar we see is like the most eloquent and leadership possessing Jem'Hadar we've ever seen in the whole show. Because after that, they just become like basically meatheads, like grunts.
I don't agree.
soldiers.
I think the Jem'Hadar actually are pretty intense most of the time. They're not, and I don't think they're grunts or meatheads. There are a few of them that are like that. But like anybody who's a first usually shows themselves to be fairly intelligent.
Yeah, I can think of a few. There was that Jem'Hadar from One Little Ship, the elder Jem'Hadar, who's trying to be all cautious and careful when the new Alpha of Jem'Hadar is being reckless. There's Ramataclon from Rocks and Shoals, who's a pretty smart guy, if a bit brainwashed.
There's the one who was cloned incorrectly and wasn't addicted to the Catch-A-Cell White, but didn't find out until he had to be forced off of it.
Yes, that's... I knew I was forgetting someone. That's the guy I was thinking of.
He's played by an actor who plays a number of roles in Star Trek.
Jem'Hadar in battle, total meatheads, though. Just run in
Yeah,
and stab
so-
things.
At the end of the series, when you have the founders running the war and the Jem'Hadar and the Vorta just taking orders, like the Vorta just become this obsequious, worshipful species, which they are, and the Jem'Hadar become less eloquent. Yeah, I stand corrected on those examples early on.
Yeah, the ones that they give us time with the character, for sure, they are more than just a meathead.
Really, the Jem'Hadar really should be the ones actually commanding their own units. Because whenever Vorta is in command, it never goes well. Just
Right.
let the Jem'Hadar do it. Just Vorta can be diplomats, that's fine. But they never actually win a battle.
We lose all the comedy and tension, though.
And if we went with that, we wouldn't have seen Wayne's neck get snapped that one time. The first time. You know, it happens once or twice. Very effective. They should do that more often. They do actually do that during the Dominion War. In particularly large battles, they'll just start ramming enemy ships.
Yeah.
It's pretty effective. Guys, maybe you should chat about this later. Just leave. Okay, they're leaving. Yeah, I'm thinking of that battle. I think it was that it was either the battle to retake Deep Space Nine or the battle at the very finale, where they have a bunch of Klingon ships coming in, and the Jem'Hadar just start running into them.
That was Sacrifice of Angels, I think, maybe? The episode where they, well, not to
Retake
spoil
the station.
anything, but yeah.
Quark, come on, man. And here's that foreshadowing from earlier. Most telepathic suppressing devices are much bulkier because that's not a real suppressor. Nah, she's not a founder. There's a founder. They probably do know at this point in the writing that the founders are shapeshifters. I'm sure they've established that among the writers. So how does Eris
Maybe.
feel about seeing Odo?
Establishing the founders as shapeshifters may have been something that happened between the break between seasons.
Maybe.
I mean, they're leaving us in suspense because the founders.
They're a
remember,
mysterious
we don't even know
force.
their role. We don't even know what they look like. The first line about them was that they're a myth. You know, I mean, she's trying to. They like to be mysterious.
Well, the next episode is The Search Part 1, where we're going to meet the founders. We're going to solve that mystery right now.
By the way, people watching on Netflix, if you let the episode roll over with the next episode feature on Netflix, it will skip the recap, so don't do that.
Of course. All right, let's updated the title. Quick 2-minute timer. And welcome back to Minecraft. So today, let's see, what wall design do we want here? I'm thinking maybe something like this, where we have a wall here, and then we have a sort of, I guess we would have to have doors here, but that looks... I don't like the look of that. That's too much.
What are you building here?
Just a little home.
Oh, okay.
Little house. Little house in the mountains, in fact. I can back off a little bit. I'm wanting it to be... You have a little pathway down here, and then a staircase going down to the beach. I'm not sure how... Actually, I think I know what I want. If I make a wall here, then do that, get rid of this, another wall here, then we have two, like, small side rooms, and then one large main area. And that lets me move the doors over here, because I don't really want doors facing this way. I could also put it here, but I don't know. It feels wrong somehow. Anyway, coming up on time to start the next episode, Deep Space Nine: The Search, Part 1. Season 3, Episode 1. Oh, do we see Seska this episode? We do see Seska this episode. I just scrolled forward a little bit, and yeah, that's totally Seska. Also, press play in 3, 2, 1, play. Yeah, the unfortunate thing about watching these back to back and needing to sync up, we can't skip these recaps. 'Cause I don't think we actually need it. Seems unnecessary for this particular context.
I don't
So
think
what-
there's a timer on the YouTube.
Is there not? There should be. I definitely pressed start on it.
It's not visible.
Alright, let me get that set up again. Almost ready. Luckily, we're just watching the recap, so it's not really necessary. That should be going. Okay, let me verify that timer's set up correctly.
It's still not visible on the stream.
Well, there's
it's
a little
there.
bit of delay from Discord to stream. Alright, it's off for me by like a half second, but that doesn't matter. It's there now. That's the important part. Oh, Jadzia changed her hair.
Yeah, I don't know what they're doing with her hair in this episode, but that doesn't last beyond this episode. She must not have liked it.
I certainly don't like it. I don't think it suits her.
It's a season premiere, guys.
They're trying something different. Oh yeah, Jadzia, that hairstyle does not work on you.
Put in money into this one. She's going for the Maryland look. Oh, did I say Maryland? I meant Jackie.
Is that the Leah Brahms hairstyle? Is that what Leah Brahms wears? Maybe, actually.
No, not
Yeah,
quite.
She does. She does. In All Good Things, it kind of is.
It's kind of like... Just put it on screen. It's not like real Leah Brahms, but it's kind of like hologram Leah Brahms.
I don't recall seeing Leah Brahms in All Good Things.
She's mentioned
married
in All
to a
Good
witch?
Things.
Okay, no,
She is
she's
mentioned,
mentioned.
but
Sorry.
she's not seen. Yeah.
Yeah, okay.
I don't know what the hair people in Star Trek do, but they really go crazy with the women's hair sometimes.
They gotta try and make it look fancy.
Like a beehive with ribs or something. A beehive in the back.
There's some kind of cloaked ship at the station. I wonder who it could be. It's gotta be a Romulan or a Klingon, right? I haven't really noticed Kira's hair changing that much.
She's
Is
a
it?
little more poofy in this episode, but that's about it.
And they moosed it up a bit.
There's not quite as much you can do with a short hairstyle like Kira has.
Yeah.
Whereas Dax over here, Dax has like a good 20 pounds of hair on her head. Is that... Does Terry Farrell really have that much hair? That's a lot of hair. Is that a wig? That is,
I don't know. I
that's
think
like 3 feet of hair.
She does have long hair normally in real life, but like, there's so much hair there.
Yeah, that looks excessive.
She let it down last week on one of the episodes. So I guess if you just grew it over the summer or whenever the season was, it could have been. It looks like hers. But I mean, there's so much going on that
There could be some extensions in there or something just to make it bigger. Or, you can get a lot of air into a hairstyle if you know what you're doing. So like it could just be way bigger looking because of how they styled it.
Could be. And this is clearly the most important part of the episode, not the introduction of the Defiant, not the introduction of the Founders. No, Jedzia's hair. This is what matters.
Yeah, I think O'Brien got his nails did.
Unfortunately, Cisco doesn't have his goatee yet. And he still has hair on the top of his head, which is just wrong.
Yeah, the goatee doesn't show up until next season, I think. DS9 takes a little longer to grow its beard.
So I'm pretty sure, doesn't Cisco at one point in the middle there, doesn't he have the hair on top of his head and the goatee?
Yeah, that's the first appearance we have of the goatee is when he
Yeah.
still has the hair.
And it looks
And then
wrong.
Finally, Avery Brooks wins the battle with the studio execs and says, "Just let me shave my head, please."
It looks so much better with the shaved head. The short cropped hair and the goatee, it doesn't work, Avery.
It was
Gotta
Avery's
go one or
choice.
the other.
They forced him into this hair.
Yeah, Avery had the right idea. Who was it? Michael. It was Rick Berman, wasn't it? It's always Rick Berman.
Absolutely. It was Rick Berman.
Typical
He's also
Rick.
growing into the character. You gotta experiment. So season 3, Defiant. I didn't know that. Escort.
It started looking a bit silly. Hey, Martha Hackett, that's Seska. It started looking a bit silly with all the runabouts going into these very dangerous battle situations. They're glorified shuttlecraft.
Yeah.
Just give them a real ship.
They really had to fight to get a starship on Deep Space Nine, though. Rick Berman did not like it.
Oh yeah. So we have Voyager. What do we need a spaceship for?
We like spaceships. Everyone loves spaceships.
No, but you're right. Sending in like teeny tiny shuttles into the other side of the galaxy is like sending a yacht or a rowboat to the Atlantic Ocean to go to London or something from New York.
You're definitely gonna need more than one ship, though. If you're actually trying to hold off the Dominion, you might need more than one Defiant.
Well, the good news is they start building them for the fleet in general, so. Mind you, not until after the war starts, but they still build them.
Yeah. We, of course, get the Valiant later on. We see some of them. We see multiple in a fleet battle somewhere.
We also see this on Paulo later. No spoilers.
Right? With the terrible carpet.
I don't know why he
Of course,
hates the carpet. It's just purple. I tend to like purple a lot. So
Okay.
it didn't bother me that much.
Well, you're not genetically enhanced. He sees
Fair.
more of the spectrum than you do.
Yeah.
Than you or
that's
I.
True.
Oh, Eddington. Hey, Eddington.
Oh, right.
And Toon's a pretty cool guy.
That's
Uh,
Seska playing the Romulan.
Yeah, that's
Yes.
Siska. Martha Hackett.
Eddington, also the star of the famous 1980s film Krull, which shares the lineage with Star Trek in another way, in the sense that the music for Krull was written by the same person who wrote the music for Wrath of Khan.
Man, were you playing Star Trek Bridge Crew yesterday? Because I was talking with someone in that game specifically about Michael Eddington being in Krull and it being James Horner music.
No, it wasn't me that you were talking to, but yeah, those are fun facts.
I'm sure everyone knows this, but the Defiant was developed by Starfleet to counter the Borg threat.
Yes. The Ben Sisko's pimp hand.
Okay.
Are you not familiar with that? That's the popular name for it. Everyone knows the USS Ben Sisko's pimp hand.
I just know about ablative armor.
Well, after this episode, I'll queue it up. USS Ben Sisko pimp hand. Okay, it's ready to go.
This is the writers talking about how hard it was to get the Defiant on the show.
Once again, Odo wanting to go full founder here. It's like, what do you mean I have to follow ethics rules and give people rights and stuff? Why can't I just crack down on the station? Come on, Odo.
Yeah, he's a little bit too used to Cardassians at that point.
Yeah. He does love his order. Any Bajoran ships docked at the station? No? No triangles? Okay. That's gotta be some really good whatever that is. I don't even know what that was. Was that some kind of chowder?
What Jake's eating?
Idanian spice pudding.
Oh, I'm ahead of
It
you.
looked like a wet piece of dough.
Wait, what timestamp are you at?
I didn't think up correctly. It's not your fault.
Okay. I wouldn't call it a monstrosity, Cisco. I think it looks okay. It's a nice station. I'm not sure about the interior design, but from the outside it's pretty nice. Why are people allowed to have stuff like that? Shouldn't that be in a museum?
Yeah, getting
got a
one's
whole
fingerprints
collection.
on it is a really bad idea.
You could at least get a replicated version of it, Cisco.
Oh, so Cisco does get the beard this season. It's in the episode Explorers, which is a fun, calm episode.
What you looking at, Odo? Well, that's where the wormhole is. That direction he was looking.
So, Cisco traffics in antique memorabilia from Earth. This is a very dark and sinister show indeed.
Yep, Cisco the smuggler.
The archaeological
Just
destroyer.
like Picard is also smuggling ancient artifacts that it's not entirely clear he's supposed to be able to have.
True, him and Vash. That's like he has a girlfriend based on that whole shady enterprise.
And he doesn't do anything to
girlfriend,
stop her.
Vash?
She's more
Until
she's more
Q-
like a
until Q stole her.
fling. Yeah, Q did steal her, but like they're together for one episode. She shows up again later, and then like she disappears for several years.
She gets
And
really
then I don't
offended that Picard didn't tell his friends about her.
Yeah, that's the Robin Hood episode.
Yeah.
That's the last time we see her on TNG. And then later on, Picard has like an actual relationship with a woman for a while. But that's also only one episode. But it's
Yeah.
clearly more meaningful to him than Vosh ever was.
The piano lady.
Yep.
Science officer.
Lessons, that's what that episode is called.
Yep. I found
It's a
out
good episode.
not that long ago that actress died from breast cancer. I was really sad because I liked her a
Oh.
lot, and she would have been
Yeah, she
great
was
to
good.
come back in Star Trek Picard.
It's really sad.
Sorry, I'm like the Grim Reaper on this stream. I talk about all the actors in Star Trek who have died all the time.
Is the Karma actor still alive?
Oh yeah, that's James Cromwell.
Yeah.
Well, not in this episode. The Karma in this episode is actually Silic.
I'm just scrolling ahead trying to find a picture of him. Oh, there he is. Oh yeah, that's Silic. Yeah. That expression on his face, 100% Silic.
Yeah, that guy has one acting mode. It's not a bad thing. He's a good actor. It's just like you always know it's him.
The look of smug superiority. Look at how Silic this man is. That is Silic.
Yeah. He also has a very distinctive voice. You don't even need to see the makeup to be able to pick him out.
Is that the real Negus staff? Did the Negus really send it?
Yeah, I always wondered, did the Negus actually give that to him, or did Sisko just replicate one on his way back to the station?
It seems out of character for the Negus to give it away like that. I think Sisko's lying.
He likes to pilfer cultural objects.
That's true. You know, a lot of Starfleet captains have some kind of collection. Picard and Sisko both have ancient artifacts. Lorca has a collection of murder things. What does Pike have? Does Pike have a collection? Does Janeway have a collection?
Wheelchairs.
Okay.
Well,
excuse me, he actually only has the one wheelchair?
He could have dodged it, but he chose it.
Parameters, Dominion, Sphere of Influence.
Janeway has a collection of hairpins.
Speaking of hairpins, what are you wearing, Jadzia? It does not work.
Kirk has a collection of women he collects across the galaxy.
Janeway coffee cups? Maybe.
Kirk probably has a collection of illegitimate sons.
Well, he only had the one that we know of.
Unless the Klingons got the other ones first, before he even knew about them.
Also, somebody did an analysis of his flings, and the number of times that we know, like, it's directly implied on screen that he actually had sex with a woman are, like...
Actually really low.
2 or 3.
Riker does that more than Kirk does.
Absolutely.
Though to be fair, Riker does have 3 more seasons. So I don't know about I don't know about the per season count.
5 more seasons. The original series ran for 3 seasons. TNG ran for 8.
No, it didn't. 7.
I thought TOS was 4 seasons. Is it only 3?
No, it's only 3. TOS was 76 episodes, 3 seasons. TNG was 7 seasons. I don't know how many episodes, but more than 100.
Yeah, bit under 200. I think it's like 180 something, 170 something.
stand corrected. I thought TNG had one more season than DS9 and Voyager.
178 TNG episodes.
But they all had 7 seasons. Okay.
Unfortunately, Enterprise didn't get 7 seasons. We could have had Jeffrey Combs as a main character. We could have had so much Jeffrey Combs, but no, they canceled it.
Well, they did jump ahead 5 years in that last episode of Enterprise, so
Yeah.
they got a lot of story.
I think technically they jumped ahead 400 to 500 years.
Right, that too.
Oh, these are the voyages. It's such a good episode, right? Everyone loves These Are the Voyages.
Yeah, let's just fry one of the best characters for no reason. It's a
Oh, we
good way
don't
to
really
end the
get
show.
many wide shots of the Defiant Bridge, do we? This doesn't look familiar to me.
It's a very tight space.
Well, they changed the bridge quite a bit after this episode.
Too. And the color scheme.
Yeah, it's a bit surprising in universe that the Romulans apparently are totally okay with not having a Romulan officer on board after this. It's like, nah, it's fine. You guys can just have the cloak. Apparently, Seska here teaches them how to use it and then just leaves.
It's a warship, not a medical ship.
Not a luxury yacht. It's not like the Enterprise. Defiant's pretty cool though. Everyone loves the Defiant, and it's a very different Starfleet ship in that it only has it has forward-facing weapons. It doesn't have like a phaser arc. It just shoots where it points.
I think it barely has like 10 decks or 13 decks or something.
It's a tough little ship.
I think it's only 5.
Actually, it is 5 or 4 or something like that.
And that'll change depending on how you consider the nose of the ship. Because there's like this one tiny little space at the bottom of the nose that doesn't quite line up with the rest of the decks.
You got the Kia people to design it.
Careful, Quark. It's a good thing Julian's here. Sorry, it's a good thing Siddiq al-Tahil al-Fadil Abdul Muhammad Ahmed Abdul Karim al-Makti is here. Julian, you can't... Come on, you could at least be subtle about it. What a jerk. Why would the replicator not be working? Why is there some... But maybe the replicator... Maybe it just doesn't even provide synthahol because it's a warship. Maybe it's just a policy thing. That is some solid acting, Renee. Very dramatic. And yes, Michael, we know about Renee. We know about him.
Yes,
Don't worry about
I figured you do.
Renee, what are you doing with that growl? What is with him here? I mean, I like the witless prattle line, but the rest of that just sounds needlessly aggressive. Dude needs a Snickers.
He's very sensitive about his shape-shifting bucket. But also I think in the What You Leave Behind documentary, he just talked about how difficult it was to act because he couldn't eat solid food because of the face mask, and so
So he
can't
really
eat
does need a
much.
Snickers.
Yeah. Well, pureed Snickers. It'd be terrible not to eat solid food for 16 hours a day. Not to mention it messes with your diet and bowels.
Okay, they're changing course, but why is the console beeping for that? Well, it's nice of her to reveal it now. Very helpful. Actually, I think they have revealed that before. I think they revealed that in TNG, in Face of the Enemy.
There's always a way to find a cloak ship if the heroes need it.
In Picard, they even have anti-cloaking scans they run on Nepenthe.
In Star Trek 6, they find the tailpipe.
In Nemesis, they just shoot in every direction until they hit it. Works pretty well.
It's a good thing space isn't three-dimensional.
Yep. Very helpful. Yeah, the Divine probably cannot take these two bug ships. They still haven't fixed their shields to actually, work against the Dominion.
These Jem'Hadar are dumber than Packlids. Foreshadowing.
Alright, we're about to meet Silic. There he is. Yeah, he really does just have one expression. What else did John Fleck do? Is he in other Star Trek? He's the Karma here. He is, of course, the Silic. What else does John Fleck do? I. He definitely shows up at least in one other episode. John Fleck, IMDb. No, not the bloody soccer player, or whatever. Enterprise. Oh, that's what I was thinking of. He plays Koval in Inter Arma Einem Silent Legis. I don't know how to pronounce that in Latin. He plays a Romulan. He also shows up in Voyager, but DS9 is what I was thinking of. Oh, and he's also the Romulan in TNG who brainwashes Geordi and gets Geordi to try to assassinate a Klingon. I just noticed their foreheads. Why do they... They have really, really tall foreheads, the Karma.
It's like Ben Affleck.
He's just got this, like, fin on top of his head. Now I want to see a shaved Karma. What do they look like without hair?
I guess the same person who did that did Dax's hair. Which implies it is a lot of wig or extensions going on, or udon hair.
Yeah, that is definitely not John Fleck's hair. That is not. The Omarian Nebula.
Cue the strings.
Do the Dominion lead ships go through the wormhole on worlds they control? No, they should really set up a station there. Should do.
True.
If they're so sensitive about ships coming through to their side of the galaxy, just make sure no one does. You can build a station. Even just station a ship there or something. Cloaked or
You
not,
better-
you're going to be able to see it open.
You should have been the ones to mine the wormhole first. But anyway.
Odo just needs to feel useful. He needs to feel like you need him there. They're especially not going to be happy with the Constable when they find out his race is a bunch of genocidal tyrants. It might be an issue for them. So we've already had Security Chief Primin, and now we have Security Chief Eddington. Is this really that much of a change for Odo? We've had Starfleet security officers. I guess Eddington is just taking over more duties than Primin did. It's a thick atmosphere on Colon 7. No way you can see space from the surface of that planet. If you're on a planet like that where you just can't see the sky, if you can't see the night sky, how does astronomy work? You can't do astronomy. So if you're going to space travel, you're just kind of throwing yourself blindly up there until you get a satellite.
There's no reason to even go to space if you can't even look at the stars.
They wouldn't be able to see their own sun pretty clearly. They wouldn't be able to see the stars. They wouldn't be able to see any other planets in the system. If any planet is going to think they're the center of the universe, it's probably going to be a planet like that, with that thick of cloud cover.
Yeah.
What's wrong with the Defiance replicators? Why don't they work? They're standard technology.
I think it's like a running gag or something in this episode.
At least have O'Brien take a look at it.
Or the shakedown cruise aspect of it.
I mean, O'Brien certainly had a lot of time between leaving the station and getting here. Could have tried to do something. But no, he's been busy trying to fix things like the ship shaking itself apart and making sure the cloaking device works. Completely lazy, just fix the replicators. Leave him behind, Siska. I'm with Seska here. Ditch him. We don't need them. Who was it even? Jackson O'Brien?
Here's best buddy. You're talking to the wrong person, Seska.
Yeah, he does love his O'Brien. Don't worry, Cisco only left one man behind. Just the one.
I hate when Julian's right.
I don't even remember really what... Oh, they just get returned, don't they? They get put in the simulator. They get put in the Matrix.
Yeah.
So I guess that all kind of works out. They have exactly the same fate as if they weren't left behind. Actually, it might be better for them that they were left behind, because they don't have to get beat up and thrown against the bulkheads in a minute. You feeling okay, Odo? Look a little distracted. Also, Kira, why do you have a gun? Kira? Is she really that worried about Odo? She needs to arm herself before going into his quarters? What's she doing?
It's just that kind of a mission.
Is anyone else armed? Are the Starfleet officers, do they have phasers?
It's still season 3, episode 1.
That's a good question. Why do you? You didn't even see, like, the real Omari Nebula. You saw a graphic display, a diagram of the Omari Nebula, and you're freaking out. You okay? He doesn't look okay. So that's the real Founder homeworld. Do you think? I mean, spoilers for next season or maybe the season after that. Once the Romulans and the Cardassians bombard this planet and just completely destroy the surface, our future changelings who get drawn to that planet, what are they going to do when they find it destroyed?
That was a decoy, though, right?
Well, I think the Omari Nebula is the real homeworld. And I think that's the one they bombard.
Yeah, but there were no life signs on it when they bombarded it.
Yeah, the founders evacuated it.
So
But
they
that's
could
not going to
just
change. That's not going to change the instinct of the other shapeshifters. And maybe they're drawn to where the Great Link is.
right, or the whatever shape they left all the craters in, the Klingons and the Cardassians, the Great Link will just fit that puddle or crater. And the puddle will just take the shape of the crater.
Well, I guess the Defiant's doing kind of okay. It got rid of one ship. I guess it's a good thing Kira's armed now. I'm just waiting for them to give us a shot of the hip of one of these officers. I just want to see if they're armed. No, Kira, the ship is lost. Ship's dead. Just leave. Once again, they keep trying to hit people with their guns. They're not even. What is wrong with the Jem'Hadar? Just shoot someone. Just shoot them. And here we go again. More just smacking people with the guns. If that's what they're going for, maybe they should just make a better smacking weapon. Just go in with a club or something.
And they beam onto the ship locked and loaded like they're ready to fire. And then then they change posture and start using it as a
Yeah, they were
as a
aiming the
battery.
guns at them. Just someone fire your gun. Thank you. Thank you, Jem'Hadar. That is now my favorite Jem'Hadar. So clearly they do have a stun setting of some kind. They have the stun pistols and the murder rifles. If you want to take them alive, just take the stun pistols with you.
Fortunately, they don't have stormtrooper aim. He actually managed to hit her.
Is that a runabout? Can the Defiant even fit shuttlecraft on it? It's pretty small. Hang on. Now I need to look up a schematic of the Defiant. Does it have a shuttle bay? USS Defiant diagram. Okay. Main impulse, the bridge. Okay, there's one shuttle. And there's a second shuttle. I don't know how that one's supposed to leave the ship. If it's just in the middle. Unless it's, like, symmetrical? What is this thing? That's a targeting scanner. Well, I mean, unconscious or not, Kira, if you didn't want to go, you should have objected.
Right now, he's like one of those salmon that's swimming upstream. He has this irresistible desire to go back home.
And he brought his trout friend to visit?
She's not allowed to ask questions.
Okay, so whoa, that's a weird shuttle. That's a little thing. It's basically just a cockpit and engines. If the Defiant is a set of guns strapped to an engine, then that shuttle was a couple of chairs strapped to an engine. And there it is, the Great Link. Some lovely CGI effects.
It's like 1995 at this point, right?
And they all look like Odo. Something like that.
Same year Windows 95 launched. We were pulling this off.
And there's the genocidal tyrant we all know and love. Oh, she's gonna kill so many people later on.
We thought he was the only one.
Well, depending on how Season 6 and Season 7 go, maybe he will be. Yeah, that changeling, not the friendliest person. She's kind of, she loves murder. She tries to murder an entire species that one time.
Yeah, she gets a little edgy towards the end of the series too.
I believe the exact line is, what was it? It was, I want you to eliminate the Cardassians. Which Cardassians? All of them. The entire population. What?
Yeah.
Okay. That's a lot of Cardassians. So yeah, the next episode is The Search Part 2, if you can believe it. It's just the next part of the episode. It's a two-parter. And we get a recap. Try not to skip the recap.
We're watching the two-parter now?
Yeah.
Oh, wow, okay, I gotta make some tea. Okay, thanks. Oh, right.
Just
the
gonna
season
keep
premiere,
going.
So it's 2 parts, right? Oh,
Yeah.
this is the second part of a 2-part. Okay.
Yes.
It's not a 4-hour. Okay, sorry. Go ahead.
Alright, and we're coming up, and press play in 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, play. Alright, we've got some time until the recap's actually over. It'll take a little bit. So let's just do this. When we watch Shades of Grey, this will basically be that episode. We're just gonna not watch it. We can do something else. Yep, they're shooting. They're shooting. Ship's getting shot up. So let's see. I want here. Well, the important thing I mostly want is I want leaves going like this over the walls. Like that. Oh, couple of lag spikes here, kind of messing with me. Oh, we're almost there. We're almost done with the recap. That's is her name Salome?
Salome.
Salome? Jens?
It's
Yeah,
Jens.
that's
Yeah.
Alright. We're starting the real episode. Go ahead.
that's Founder with reverence to you.
Oh, okay. She is the Dominion.
She also wrote the textbook on how not to be a foreign occupier.
Oh god, I'm still hearing Minecraft rain sounds. Hang on. I can keep playing, but there we go. No more rain sounds.
I'm
Now, how does reproduction work for the changelings? Are they like cells? Do they just sort of divide into more changelings? How could this work?
Yeah, they never answer that.
Is it like the blue people in Avatar? They just kind of touch? I've never actually seen Avatar. I don't know how it actually works there, but I assume they just kind of touch each other and then there you go, you get a child. I just know it involves hair.
They should have tails that wrap around each other that glow at the end.
Maybe
If you're gonna be
that's
a humanoid,
how. Maybe that's what linking is.
I mean, it's definitely not any kind of sexual reproduction because there's no gametes. Because otherwise, Odo would have been a father like 10 times by now.
I'm going to assume that what happens is, if they want to, they link, and then sort of a combination of their goo splits off into a third changeling. That's now a combination of both of them.
Yeah.
Yeah, even
So there
here,
were
Salome is kind of the leader.
100 of those changeling babies were sent out
Yeah.
in the galaxy.
Including Martok.
Somebody was busy 200 years ago.
And of course, I mean, not actually Martok, but a guy who plays Martok. He also plays Las later in the series. Who's one of the 100. Oh, don't worry, he's fine. He's doing great. He just had his first link. Oh, we're gonna get a weird Renee smile? Yes, weird Renee smile.
It has to be hard to smile in that mask.
But he looks like he's about to like murder someone.
True.
Also, the character is not a smiling character, so
No.
Yeah, that's
Look
also
weird.
very true.
it's just weird to see a perfectly smooth face smile.
Renee, if you could just harumph for us, that would really help.
It should be a happy harumph, like one of the 7 dwarves or something.
And like one of the key components to actually like recognizing a genuine smile on another person's face is that it reaches their eyes when they smile. If you
Right.
can't see that, which the mask probably either covers or actually hinders, it just looks weird because it looks artificial.
Right.
And an artificial smile looks like he's gonna kill someone.
Right. And also about that, there's hundreds of facial muscles around the lips and cheeks that also make up part of a smile. So, yeah, any masked or talk smile is gonna look like and like you said, up to the eye, up to the corners of the eyes and everything. It's gonna look not genuine.
Oh wow. So the actor who plays Professor Galen in Star Trek The Next Generation, in an episode that is kind of indirectly related to this one, because Salome Jens also plays a character on that episode, the actor who plays Professor Galen just turned 106.
Is he alive?
Yeah, he wouldn't have a birthday otherwise.
Well,
Day 106.
but I mean, 106 is just kind of that's
It's
kind of extreme.
incredible. I hope he discovers the secret to our genetics soon.
Yeah, he didn't do so well on TNG, but apparently in real life, dude
He has
just
good genes.
lives forever.
What is it? The providers, provisioners,
The
preservers.
progenitors.
Yeah, they gave him some good genes.
Oh, we get Garrick this episode. Oh yeah, we do. Yeah, Garrick shows up when they get back to the station. Well, get back to the station. Quote unquote. We
Which
get
means
more
entirely
Eddington.
because he wasn't on the Defiant when they did all this. So like he's entirely a simulation, and they get Garrick completely 100% right in this episode.
The Dominion's good. They're real good at what they do. That didn't. I mean, now it sounds like a tractor beam, but that sounded more like a phaser to me. That was a very aggressive tractor beam. It's Smiley. Do you want to specify how you got off that station with the Jem'Hadar there and not having a ship?
And why do you have time to do your hair like that still?
I think it's just so styled. There's so much stuff in it. It's just like that permanently now. It can't move. Oh, directed by Jonathan Frakes.
Oh wow.
Neat.
Should be pretty mediocre then.
Everyone loves Jonathan Frakes directing. What's the matter with you?
It's just a. Do you like this shot particularly?
This particular shot? I mean, it's fine.
It's kind of like static.
I mean, that's most old Star Trek shots. They kind of just stand in place and point cameras at each actor.
There's no imagination whatsoever to any of this.
Man, can you give Kira a bandage or something, or like a wet cloth to wipe the blood off her head? It's just kind of. She's just got blood coming out of her face. Should probably deal with that.
I think William Shatner was jealous that Leonard Nimoy directed Star Trek 3 or 4, and so they had to give him Star Trek 5 to direct. That was a complete mess.
It had some good parts.
I know, but it wasn't. It was arguably the least good of all the original series films.
I still don't understand what exactly Cybok was doing to people. Because it sure seemed like some kind of mental manipulation, like brainwashing. But he insisted it wasn't, and people who were brainwashed later insisted they weren't. They just said he shared their pain. And that's all they've got to say about that. What did Cybok do to them? He made McCoy see his dying father again, but I don't see why that would lead to going over to Cybok's side.
Yeah. So I guess Jonathan Frakes is a step up from all that.
And what do you want the camera to do here? Do you want it to be like spinning around the actors? Looking down from the trees? What are they supposed to do?
Yeah, you're right.
They're just kind of chatting.
But I don't want to mention too many other YouTube channels. But Lore Reloaded, I think I recently learned he was a media major or a film critic major, studies major, and so he did a really good piece on First Contact and how great the direction was there. Wait, that was done by Jonathan Frakes too.
Yes.
Okay, let me take everything back.
Okay. Of course, we have Admiral Nechayev, who people seem to dislike just because she was kind of rude to Picard a couple times. But I mean,
I dislike her.
she's doing her best here. She's just following her. I mean, not here in particular, because that's not Admiral Nechayev, but real Admiral Nechayev. She's just doing her job.
Amongst all of the terrible admirals that we see in Starfleet, Nechayev is definitely not one of them.
She's not
just,
evil.
but
She's just a, yeah. She just says mean words to Picard once.
She's always the big bear of bad news.
Well, okay, she is a little bit evil in the sense that she's the one who directed Picard to relocate the Indians.
But she was just following orders too. It wasn't her decision.
But just following orders is also an excuse for terrible things, as Picard points out in that very episode.
But I mean,
And then she tells him to send Hugh back, right? So.
except Picard in that episode was also just following order. He was going along with it.
Yeah, he still worked his way out of it, though.
But either way, it just goes to show Picard's always had a tension with Starfleet Command, and Picard, the series, is not anything new in that respect. And when people are like,
sure.
"Well, that's not," when people are like, "That's not Starfleet," I'm like, "Yeah, it is. It always was."
Picard is always arrogant. Someone finally called him out on it.
Right.
Both Riker and the Admiral. Though Riker was more friendly about it.
And Starfleet Command was always hawkish, and Picard was always the one who's like, "Yeah, we're not gonna go into war haphazardly with the Cardassians, Romulans, you name it."
You say that. What would the Dominion gain from an alliance here? Do they just gain, like, a foothold to conquer the Klingons or something temporarily? To conquer the Romulans, then make their way to...
I've already seen the series, so it's easy for me to say. But normally, another nation or empire will establish trade relations, then some kind of mutual defense treaty, then an alliance. You don't just say, "Hey, we want an alliance."
I mean, that seems like a good saying. Enemies would make dangerous friends, yes. I'm not sure you really want to trust the Dominion here. Oh, please. Garrick doesn't work for the Central Command. The Central Command does love the Dominion, it's true.
Central Command hates Carrick.
Actually, no, it's technically not even Central Command by the time they make the alliance with the Dominion. By that point, the Cardassians already been taken over by the civilian government. Which, I mean, they might also call themselves Central Command, I don't know. But it's a different government.
The Tapa Council.
I mean,
What's
even
ironic,
if it does. Yeah?
What's ironic is that less than a season later, maybe not less than a season later, but not that much longer, the Romulans sign a treaty without talking to the Federation.
Yeah. But also, even in this scenario, if the Federation signs a treaty with the Dominion and literally every other major power, what are the Romulans going to do about it? They're going to go to war and just... There's no way they can take on the Federation and the Klingons and the Dominion and the Cardassians. What are they going to do? It's going to be a bad war for them.
Yeah, it's not a good idea to wage war against the new alliance.
Honestly, if they made that alliance, they might even be able to take on the Borg. That's a lot of firepower. That's like 3/4 of the galaxy coming together.
A good analogy would be Nazi Germany and
Literally
Stalinist
everyone
Russia.
else.
I mean, but the treaty between Nazi Germany and Russians
Yeah, the
that
rather
allowed
temporary
Hitler
treaty.
to right the Molotov-Ribbentrop Pact. So signed in bad faith, arguably by both sides.
And we have a treaty, but what if we just didn't anymore? It's a solid plan. Didn't work out so great, but, you know, they gave it their best shot, I guess.
Excuse me, I have to conquer Poland because I signed the treaty with the Russians.
And the Dominion really has good intelligence. They nail every single simulated character, yeah. Admiral Nechayev is well done. Garrick is well done. Everyone here is really well done. Dominion's good. Yes. Yes, everyone has a problem with this. I mean, yeah, I'm with Nechayev here. You. That's a good point, Nechayev. Romulan's not a threat. Maybe the Jem'Hadar can be the new Makos for Starfleet in this alliance. So we got rid of them a couple hundred years ago. We could just get more ground forces. That'd go well. You've been called a lot of things, Odo. I wouldn't read too much into that. Yeah, that seems to be the sort of running thread that most changelings have bad experiences with solids. Actually, do they? Because I mean, the changeling, the one of the 100 we meet later, Loss, who's played by Martok, he tells his story briefly, and he says he actually did fairly well among the solids. He just says they didn't truly accept him, but he was very vague about that. Everyone seemed pretty much cool with it. The Klingons weren't. The Klingons tried to, like, shoot him, but everyone else was cool with it. That's just the Klingons, though.
I mean, I think it's fairly clear that the changelings have something of a genetic memory because Odo's penchant for order and quote unquote justice
And his
seems
obsession with
pretty
the Omarian
ingrained.
Nebula.
Yeah, that too. All of that seems pretty ingrained into who he is. So, like, Laz, who is the Martok changeling that shows up later, may already be kind of resentful of solids just in general, and that colors his perception of them and how they think of him.
Yeah, let's see that.
And it takes a little bit of work, but Odo gets there too at one point. He
Is that a
snaps out of it.
Bajoran monolith?
Probably.
That reminds me
reuse
of
props
something
all the
they
time.
dig up later on Bajor. When Cisco goes full emissary.
Oh, no.
Valhalla.
That thing was on the planet from the episode, what's it called?
That is
The first one
Valhalla.
where Dr. Morris showed up. No, it's not Bahala. The Bahala thing is just a regular obelisk. That one is from the thing where Odo turns into a monster after they visit a weird planet.
Okay. Yeah, I remember that scene. I remember we were pointing out some kind of monolith. I think I might have said the same thing about that one.
Yeah. Thanks, Mike. Michael. He's not your friend anymore.
Kara, you don't know that it's him. Why are you talking to a mushroom? Also, why does this place look like Willy Wonka Candy Factory? Why do I feel like that mushroom thing is made of chocolate?
How do we know Kira's not having a schizophrenic break over here?
Yeah, no, it's not going to work out just fine. Couldn't even leave a note for her. No idea where she went. That looks like a fairly suspicious door. That looks very suspicious.
I put a link in the Discord to an article about the episode that I was just talking about, and it's got a picture of that exact obelisk in the article.
Okay, I'm looking at that now. Oh yeah, that's totally the same obelisk. So it's gotta be an old Dominion ruin.
You don't have to make a door. You could just like drill a hole into a wall, and no solids could ever get through. Unless solid mice.
Ah, but they need solids to be able to get through. Through that particular door. Is that fake Quark? He was hanging out with the Karma dude, but I don't know if he got captured. Probably not.
No, I don't think he got captured. He stayed with the Karma.
Yeah, but Cisco did imply that they might have handed him over to the Dominion. I don't think they did. I'm just sort of
I don't think he's in the room at the end of the episode.
okay.
Guess he got that Tulaberry wine shipment.
But once again, they did kind of nail the Quark part. Seems like Quark to me. Unfortunately, the Jem'Hadar and the Vorta and the Changelings don't really drink or gamble. Except Wayun. Wayun gambles. Well, that's rather rude of the Jem'Hadar. How dare he? Addressed him in a disrespectful tone? Disgusting.
I would have pulled out that tube in his neck.
Typical Eddington. Flouting relegate. Regulations. Flouting regulations. Fake Jake. And people should do this more often. They can get Cisco to reveal literally any information here. Just have the admirals talk to him about it. But no, that people tend to just they just go for the torture and it never works. Or they try to make the simulations that they do put them in really excessively elaborate, and then it just gets them discovered. Just because it sounds simple. Something simple and believable. Can't transfer Dax. She has a contract. We just started the season. Oh yeah, more Cisco yelling at everyone. If you're familiar with that video, Cisco yelling at everyone, you'll definitely recognize this bit.
A captain yelling at an admiral?
How dare he?
That's not the Starfleet I know.
I think we meet this Vorta again later. When does he show up again? What? Why? That is a terrible idea. Giving the Dominion both sides of the wormhole, that is a bad idea, Fake Nuchayev. I'm just looking up this guy. When else does he show up, if ever? It looks like this is his only appearance. Could have sworn I recognized him from later in the series. Oh, that's a good deal then. That is enough, thank you. Would love friendship with the Dominion. Oh, Cisco's never gonna get that admiralcy, is he? He never becomes an admiral. No, he's not the guy who kidnaps Quark's mom. That's Iggy Pop. They do look similar, though.
Whoa, whoa, whoa. The Federation doing shady business? That's not the Starfleet I know. Hey, we were talking about before, could Odo become a bird and fly away?
Oh yeah, he does it all the time. It's just, it doesn't make physical sense.
Okay, alright.
A 120-kilo Arbizon vulture. Renee, are you feeling okay? Renee? This is so weird for Odo. Can we get Quark in here? Can we just make Odo grumpy again? Odo's always at his best when he's grumpy. I mean, what's wrong with the door? What if some changelings want some privacy? They don't really seem big on privacy in general, but what if they do? Got a mystery on our hands. Also, those mugs still look just awful to drink out of. I don't know if that's useful at all.
So we still don't know who the founders are, though, right? Technically.
We're gonna find out in about 5 minutes.
Suspense.
Oh, there's the fish skeleton in the background, behind Cisco. To the right.
Yep.
It's a good skeleton. Very blurry
Good
here.
seafood restaurant.
Could be. Oh, good. The Bajorans fighting the Dominion. I'm sure that would work out well for them. They wouldn't even have Gul Dukat protecting them this time. Interesting that simulated Garrick is trying to push them into rebelling instead of also going along with it.
I guess the changeling playing Garrick got carried away.
Good, making some nice clandestine plans here. Best of friends now. Now, how many more people can you loop into this resistance cell? Okay. Down one Romulan. Is she okay, or is she actually dead? Is this so you die in the simulation, you die in real life? She's probably okay. Very subtle, Garrick. That's another one for the roofie counter. At least it wasn't a medical officer who took an oath this time. Garrick, you can see
it wasn't a
movement summon.
broken nerve pinch done by an android.
Yep.
Okay.
You can't do that. Also, I'm not sure you actually can do that. Can photons do that? They have to go to really extreme lengths to close it later. But I guess, yeah, they're gonna go shoot the prophets. They're probably not gonna be terribly happy about that. The Dominion probably didn't simulate the prophets. They probably don't know they're there.
Yeah, they're so busy being worshipped by the Vorta, they can't imagine that there's other gods.
And I was just thinking of it like the prophets wouldn't have been willing to talk to them. Oh, very good, Mr. Garrick. Thank you. Of course it was Garrick. Oh. Interesting that nobody who's getting shot here is bleeding, though. It's just sort of just energy.
They nailed that Garrick, huh?
Yeah, they're good. The Dominion weapons later on cause extensive bleeding, that's the whole point, but apparently here, nah. They're just basically blue phasers.
And that second Jem'Hadar, being a trained warrior, should have had his finger on the trigger.
Oh, I was hoping we would see Jadzia get hit by that Jem'Hadar again. It's like she just can't catch a break. She keeps getting shot by Jem'Hadar. Just don't answer the phone. Cisco, why would you answer that? Oh, now they've worked out some of the timescales. 70 years, that about fits in with Voyager. Okay. Now, if they could go do that in real life, that might be pretty helpful.
Confirmed. It takes 3 photon torpedoes to destroy a wormhole.
Bit of an issue here with the Jem'Hadar. Apparently they're chill about it, though. Oh, hey, it's that one cave set.
Holla.
Alright, there's the Romulan lady. She's probably still alive. No Quark, so that was definitely fake Quark. What are you gonna do about it, Vorta? Why are you so angry with Odo? Odo is one of your gods, man. I am the Senate. And there you go, Odo. Now you know where you get all your fascist tendencies from. I mean, I'm not sure that's true. That usually ends up being the opposite. You try to control something and they end up hurting you quite a lot. Didn't work out for the Cardassians, for sure. In multiple times, actually. The Cardassians keep trying to control things and it keeps coming back to bite them. I don't know, Odo. You're pretty similar, actually. You haven't started the genocide yet, but you're really leaning into the fascism. I mean, he means well. It's just his methods are a little. He goes a little far, or he wants to. He's being restrained by the Federation. Yes, yes, he is. Okay, plug Odo into the simulation. Now just plug him in. He'll be fine. And just confirming, yeah, Seska's alive. She's fine. She died in the simulation, but not in real life. Oh wow, they kept the Defiant. Is it even space-worthy anymore? Because it seems like it was pretty heavily damaged. Did they repair it for them? They must have repaired it because it was severely damaged. It couldn't go to warp, it didn't have impulse, it didn't have anything.
Yeah. Also, apparently, the rest of the crew was just chilling on the Defiant, waiting for them to come back.
Yeah, just hanging out. Maybe that's why it's repaired now. The rest of the crew was there. She has a lot bronzer skin than later on. Why does she look so bronze?
Also,
Is it just
when
weird
we
lighting?
first see her at the beginning, her mask was really different. She had a more her jaw was wider, and now it's more like how we see her in the last season.
Maybe the changelings just tan when they're hanging out on their own planet. She just gets a lot paler on Cardassia because she doesn't tan anymore. She just hangs out inside of the headquarters all the time. They do get a lot of sun exposure here. If there is a sun.
Good moisturizer too.
You know, come to think of it, everybody on a space station, everyone who lives on a space station, all the white people would be really pale. You're not getting sunlight there.
Well, we don't really know. What kind of light does the station's light output? It might
Yeah,
put
I
out
guess
enough to actually help them.
they could have some sun lamps, sure.
Maybe they recognize that as a problem, and the lights on all stations and starships put out a full spectrum of light all the time.
Maybe.
You could always go to Bejor for a weekend.
They do have these big ol' windows on the station.
That's what roundabouts
Maybe that
are for.
helps. Alright, so the next episode, because that was a two-parter, we count two-parters as one. So the next episode, the last one for the day, is going to be The House of Quark. Which everybody loves The House of Quark. Stop the count.
Worked out to be great so far.
Press start. And if anyone wants to join the Discord, there's a link in the description. You just click on that. Click on the voice chat channel. And you're in. If you just want to join the voice chat. And talk about the episode. Talk about the House of Quark, where Quark is going to have some fun interactions with the Klingon lady. Should have a great time together.
It's the second time also that someone threatens Quark's physical health because he touched them inappropriately.
Well, maybe he should, stop doing that.
Yep, maybe he should.
Alright, press play in 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, play. Yeah, Oh, hey, Morn. Yeah, he kind of, puts his hand on Kira's leg, I remember. And he does the same thing with the Klingon woman here.
Deblo Smith.
Dude needs to just leave people alone.
Hello, all. Welcome.
Hello. We're up to 4. 4 people.
Oh man, I wish I would have known. I would have had a lot to say on the last episode.
Oh, yeah. I don't really read the Discord chat during the stream, but yes, anyone is welcome to join at any time.
Hello, Harmonix here.
More people. Hello, Harmonix. It's all Cisco's fault. No, Quark, do not cut a deal. Do not give them a foothold in the Alpha Quadrant. Do not trade for that. That's racist. Can't say that. Yeah, I don't. Do Klingons generally ask for? Is that a thing in Klingon culture? Well, apparently they can get it if they want it. Maybe someone. Rom, do you want to call Odo? You've also got a disruptor behind the bar. Maybe you could use the disruptor. Oh, don't need it anymore. That's not Klingon blood. That's red. Klingon blood is Pepto-Bismol. Whose blood is that? What is going on here? Yeah, that nonsense.
Star Trek 6, yes, we do see pink blood, and then also Vulcans are supposed to have green blood. But at some point, the producers figured out that pink blood and other color blood doesn't have the same reaction, visceral reaction to the audience, as like red blood does. Deep blood.
Though I remember in some Star Trek, I think it's the JJ verse movies. I think at one point Spock gets some bruises and they are green. I think they do that. But yeah, the original Klingon blood from Star Trek 6, I mean, of course it didn't get any kind of real reaction because it actually just looked like Pepto-Bismol. It did not look like blood whatsoever. Oh, Sadiq El-Fadil, he's still going as Sadiq El-Fadil as Dr. Bashir in the credits.
He's not Alex yet.
No, he's not Alex. He'll be Alex next season. Maybe even later in this season, but not yet. Colin Meaney's Chief O'Brien. Also, how far away is the station from the Klingon border? It's got to be somewhat close, right? Because
yeah,
the station's.
Sorry, Harmonix, your voice is kind of low. I just wanted to say. Also, I'm just wondering if somebody else has the speakers on because I hear a little bit of a backlog, and then it might show up in the thing. But what were you saying, Ryan? Klingon homeworld.
The station's got to be next to. The station is sort of by definition by the Cardassian borders because they annexed it briefly. And then later on in the series, the Cardassians also invade the Klingons, and it's implied that they do it straight from Klingon space. So presumably the Bajor is next to the Klingons. I'm just thinking of later on in the episode. We have to travel to Kronos, and it's unclear how long it takes. And if it takes a long time, it has some weird implications. But of course, Kronos is just as close by as the plot demands it be.
Yeah. I didn't want to be the one to say it.
It's all speed of plot. All the time. I've said it many times, I'll say it again. Consistency is not a thing in Star Trek. It doesn't matter.
Not at all. And, I mean, it makes sense that they've never released an official map for that reason.
Yeah, that'd be pretty hard to reconcile. Just leave it vague.
Because they're close enough by, like you said, when they leave the Khitomer Accords, and then the Klingons invade the Federation or attack the Romulans and attack the Cardassians, they're definitely like in the neighborhood.
Everyone has a border with every other nation, for convenience sake.
Yes.
A knife! Yeah, the pink Klingon blood definitely would have helped with the rating, yeah. But it just looked so silly.
They're wearing the Voyager uniforms at this point.
Do we get the nice sort of gray-black coats next season?
The First Contact.
So I think in the what was it, that first Ferengi episode in TNG, they said that I think they said Ferengi had like several times the strength as a human.
Did they?
I think so.
That doesn't track at all. I think that gets
It kinda
retconned.
does. And you see that they act like chimps. So a chimp could rip your arm out of its socket.
Keiko, are you possessed? I'm not comfortable with how long this is lingering on Keiko's static face. Is she being possessed right now? Keiko? No, she's just sad.
What else is new?
And Jake and Nog don't deserve educations, Keiko? Yeah, what about
They can
them?
They can go to Hollow College. It's fine.
They probably could actually rent out a Hall Suite and just have a education program. That'd probably work. I assume those kinds of Hollow programs exist. They've got to by now.
I mean, we're living in that right now, right? Isn't school pretty close to that right now?
Yeah. We could send
Hopefully
all the
not.
students VR headsets and have virtual reality classrooms.
That would work.
Very expensive, but you could do it.
Like how Keiko gardens when she needs a hobby.
It's her favorite thing. And now O'Brien has something else to fix other than the station.
Bonsai trees are really hard to cultivate.
Odo, what are you staring about? Yeah, I don't think... The only Ferengi display of strength I can think of is Rom trying and failing dramatically to throw a baseball. Throws it like 10 feet. It's the only thing I can think of offhand.
I think the first Ferengi episode in TNG was retconned, so that those Ferengi were different than the way they were. I think they were supposed to be like
Ferengi augments?
Yeah, basically.
If there's some kind of inconsistency with a character trait, you just call them augments. It's fine.
That was played by Armin Shiverman also.
Yeah. Ferengi used to be really strong. They're augments. Klingons used to have smooth foreheads. Augments. Julian Bashir needs to be really, really smart for this episode. He's an augment. Rom gets a lot smarter starting season 3 and continuing in. He's probably an augment.
Isn't one of the rules of acquisition like dignity and the sack is worth the sack? Something like that?
Yes. I think that's true. And if Quark is trying to make enemies out of some Klingons, he should also remember the rule of acquisition. You can't make a deal if you're dead. Speaking
Yes.
of which, good job, Quark. That's racist.
Well, not that kind of brother. The brother.
No,
So,
the
rule of
miserable
acquisition.
Ferengi line.
Rule of acquisition: the bigger the smile, the sharper the knife.
Also, how come that... I think that's Klingon's name is Devor. I can't help but notice that Devor's, like, 2 front teeth are the Klingon prosthetic, and all the rest of it are just Devor's normal teeth.
That's the same is true with Worf also, if you pay attention. I noticed that too.
They just... I guess the full prosthetic teeth is just too much of a hassle. Quark, of course, has the full prosthetic teeth. It'd be harder to get away with that for him. No, he totally put up a good fight. It was a valiant struggle, for sure. 100%.
You know, one thing that both Klingons and Ferengi do well are telling stories. It's interesting.
Yeah. Somewhat different reasons, but yeah. They love just, you could call it embellishment, you could call it line, but they love storytelling.
River Scrawl ran crimson red.
Oh, O'Brien doing his best cheer for Keiko.
I can't believe a Ferengi got out of a Klingon confrontation.
The canapes. O'Brien's a nice guy. Everyone loves O'Brien. Keiko, you don't deserve this man.
That's okay. He'll go to jail and go to prison for something he didn't do and all that kind of stuff.
Yeah. It's amazing he's able to stay this positive with everything that happens to him.
Every day should be, I'm married to the most wonderful woman in the galaxy day after getting out of a Cardassian trial.
But what if... How does that change when Julian and O'Brien get married? Is that the most wonderful husband in the world day? In the galaxy?
I think that's... Julian winds up with Ezri.
No, he doesn't. Don't be ridiculous. It's Miles
Sure.
O'Brien and Julian Bashir.
I thought Worf and Wesley Crusher was the best fanfic ever. Most popular.
I like the Wesley and Riker ones, but okay. Wesley's first shave.
And what are these implications here? I thought this was a family-friendly show.
Yeah, sorry. You started it, Ryan, so...
Oh no, I was talking about the actual episode.
Oh, okay.
Yeah,
Sorry.
there's no chemistry between these two actors. So who cares? It's fine.
Well, what is wrong with O'Brien?
O'Brien's just trying so hard. He's doing his best. Also, what's with the robe? Is she trying to disguise herself on the promenade? Quark, you should probably be worried about the fact that she's clearly concealing something under her robe. No? You're cool with this? Quark, do you maybe want to pull out the disruptor from behind the bar? How about now?
Oh my god. Grilka just came back from the Renaissance Fair.
Grilka has some nice fashion sense. Also, have we seen Jadzia this episode? Has she fixed her hair yet? I don't think we've seen her. Maybe she'll show up later. I'm just scrolling forward. No, okay, we do see Jadzia in just a minute.
It is a good day to die, but I have to find out how he died.
Now, how are Grilka's prosthetics? Does she have prosthetic teeth all the way? Her front teeth are. She looks like she has the full prosthetic. Okay. Roofie counter goes up. And here they're just immediately on Kronos. How long have they been in warp? How long was Quark unconscious for? It's gotta be days. And what day is it? This is...
Did the stream go down?
it's still showing as plain for me.
Stream's up for me.
Okay, it froze for me.
Yeah, it's still going.
Alright.
We're using so this is the second time in 2 episodes this season somebody's just beamed off the station and on
Literally
the station.
no security.
Yeah.
You know, maybe it's just the Klingon women that have the full teeth prosthetic. His teeth look discolored, but they look like normal teeth. It can't be that unusual. Klingons are really reckless. They probably get themselves killed all the time.
Yeah. And they drink so much they probably fall on their own swords all the time.
We will, of course, be seeing this guy again when, on the next Grilka episode.
Yep.
This isn't her last appearance.
That's a good reason.
I mean, that looks very fancy, but I don't know, it doesn't do it for me. Those weird robe things. Something about them seems off. Maybe it's the fact that Klingons generally don't wear any kind of white.
Oh,
They're really
shit,
big
that was-
into dark colors.
Unless it's like Takuma's girlfriend or something.
Now my streaming of Deep Space Nine is down.
Oh, good.
Uh,
Good.
I like how she spit out after she kissed him.
I mean, that was disgusting. Who wouldn't spit out after kissing a Ferengi? Apparently, yes, it is legal to get in Klingon law to be married under duress. That's perfectly fine. I assume most things in Klingon culture are under duress. That's sort of their thing. Yeah, there's Jadzia. Her hair looks so much better like this.
D episode.
So where are you in time? Like at the timestamp?
Like what's happening in the scene or just
21:54.
the exact time?
Okay, you're somewhere 2150s, something like that. Okay.
2156, 57, 2158, 2159, 22.
Okay, thank you.
Yeah, what?
You go to your commanding officer for anyway.
Yeah,
They
thanks,
don't have a
Ray.
counselor
Yeah.
on this whole station.
I'm surprised Dax was the one who was willing to leave. Because, Dax is the one who loves gossip.
Yeah, obviously
She's always
she had
gossiping
advice
about
to give
someone.
him.
Yeah, O'Brien, that's not going to do it. You're doing your best. And it's not like O'Brien can really go to anyone else except Julian, I guess. There's no one else he can really talk to. He doesn't have many friends on the station. He's certainly not going to go talk to Garrick. He's very jealous of Garrick. No, it won't. That's not going to work.
You know, it's funny in this episode, Cisco kind of gives him the arboretum and all that, but it doesn't work. But Bashir gives him better advice for Keiko later. And why does Julian give him better Bashir? Julian's never been married. Cisco should know more.
Ah, but Julian's an augment. He knows everything.
Right.
That's all you have to say. Just he's an augment.
It's your commanding officer. You're requesting space. The arboretum was O'Brien's idea. Cisco just had to grant it, and he had an empty cargo bay lying around. He wasn't.
All right, I'm just watching Gowron's eyes, trying to see if he ever blinks. Gowrin? His name's not Gowrin.
So this was the inspiration for the whole Takuma plot.
Because what?
His like hyper aggressive woman needs a husband.
Quark seems a little upset about this whole situation, but what's he gonna do about it?
He's such a
He's
great
in a-
actor.
He's in a hall full of angry Klingons. He's pretty stuck.
That one expression that his face is stuck on.
I love how Gowron always looks at Quark like, "What the fuck are you doing?"
Yeah,
He always has that type of look.
Scowl. Oh, whoa.
Whoa, what?
Evyap is a curse, right? Or something?
No, it's just stop. Okay, still no blinking. He sort of squinted a bit, but that's not a blink. Quirk? Still no blinking. Yeah, just that same expression, just complete bafflement, befuddlement. At least for Gowron, it's a break in the routine. He probably hates being a diplomat, or hates being this administrator.
You guys are right, though. The Chancellor never blinks.
It's Bill O'Reilly? What's his name? Something O'Reilly. And his crazy eyes. Not Bill O'Reilly. That's a Fox News person. Robert
Was-
O'Reilly.
No. Yeah, it's like shut up or whatever. Something like that. God.
Yeah, Robert O'Reilly's his entire audition was just him doing crazy eyes at the producers, and that worked. And he never blinks. Yeah, like Quark help.
Definition of a shotgun wedding.
Quark has a very strong incentive to get this situation sorted. So yeah, probably let him try to help.
I don't think there was an actual shotgun though.
No. Just a knife being held to Quark's throat.
So it's a Doctog wedding.
Ah. Man, why does Grilka have so many batlets hanging on the walls? Is that really
Why?
necessary, Grilka?
I am with Groka. All the batlets.
But how many batlets does one person need?
One for every enemy.
It seems like a good strategy, Grilka.
They're off to a good start in their marriage.
Yeah. They're working together, solving problems.
She didn't need a husband. She needed an accountant.
Yeah. Why not both?
I mean, her last husband was a drunk, so he probably left the house in such terrible financial distress. He was asking for credit.
So how many batlets do you guys have on your walls?
17.
17 batlets? It's a lot of batlets.
I had 17 enemies. They are all dead.
I mean, that just seems wasteful. You could reuse a batlet.
Then how
You
would
might
I
need to
remember each
clean it.
one?
I want a kitchen set of batlets.
I gotta save up for it, the new Federation flag from Season 3 Discovery that only has like 5 stars on it because of,
Yeah.
we don't have 4 Federators in the future. But it
It's a nice
inspires me
flag.
so much.
I was gonna say I don't own any batlets, but then I remembered, no, I actually have a little batlet letter opener. Just a tiny batlet. It's like 4 inches long. I don't think I've ever. No, I've tried to use it once to actually open a letter, and it did not work. It just tore it open like if I used my hands. I guess I could put it through my knife sharpener, but that seems a little excessive. I assume Klingons do, yes, have tiny batlets for opening their letters.
Nope, you use the big one and it does the same thing.
I think they just use the MacLeod, honestly.
And why do Lord of the Rings elves have such giant letter openers? I mean, I assume it was just a metaphor, but I remember in The Hobbit, they described Bilbo's sword as more like a letter opener than a sword. It's like, do elves actually just have giant letter openers that glow? That's a pretty good letter opener. Also, can you do that? Can you just declare war on another house in Klingon society and just kill people?
I mean,
Apparently.
that seems in character to me.
They were united at one point. That's when you had the beginning of the Empire. I don't know where I read that, so please
Yeah,
don't ask me for a source.
I was gonna say, how is this even an empire? How did they establish an empire if they're just killing each other all the time?
I think I'm getting that from Discovery. Like, they were not united houses until Takuma's girlfriend united them.
Yeah, more. Here's Quark. To be fair to Quark, this is his wife.
Yeah,
Is his wife.
That's
you're
still
allowed
not
to make
fair.
a move on your wife.
There was never so in a married relationship where two people get married on purpose. There's a little bit of implied consent. Still should be consent should still be sought. Being married does not grant Quark any kind of consent in this situation.
Hey, the marriage was her idea.
But yeah, no, she went into it clearly saying, "I'm using you to rescue my house politically." So we got to see if Gowron blinks at any point.
He squinted there for a second. I don't think his eyes closed all the way, but that was
Oh,
a
did he?
strong squint.
Pretty sure that was unintentional.
I mean, even if Gowron might still grant the unusual circumstances if Rom testifies to that. This might work out for them anyway.
But the brother already swore it in front of the high court. So now, if you're going to bring in another witness saying something different, you've impeached yourself.
Yeah.
I don't know. It sounds like the literal mountain of evidence that Quark has would also be a good challenge. Can we just use
Yeah.
that instead? Do we have to go for the stabbing? Yeah, no, Groka, you're being ridiculous here. You can't trial by combat a financial transaction. Remember, if you get audited by the IRS, just challenge the auditor to combat.
That works.
If they refuse, they're a coward who have no honor.
This is Ryan's pro advice here.
Oh yeah, I challenge auditors to duels to the death all the time. It always works out. That's what the tiny bat'leth is for. It's easy to conceal.
Have a problem with your Comcast deal? Just challenge him to a fight.
Exactly. If
So
if
if there's
Comcast
no-
loses the battle, it is Kales's will that you get your bill lowered.
If there's no Ryan's edits marathon next week, we all know why. Because Ryan killed the Comcast guy with a bat'leth.
But then why would I not show up? I would be the winner. And we all know it's perfectly legal.
True. The stream will be even better.
Garon is so unimpressed. Man, Gowron has a lot of free time. He has. Why is he able to deal with all this? Can't he, like, assign this to a lower court or something?
Yeah, that's what I was thinking too, because there are Cleon courts. So why is he doing this?
He's got this giant empire. Surely he has better things to do than deal with this little land dispute.
I mean, if there's only 12 houses, then a dispute between the 12 houses would probably require the chancellor to supervise this.
So he's like a federal court, a federal chancellor.
Yeah.
Maybe we can delegate it to Emperor Kales. He's still here.
Yeah, he really should be doing all this. But that position is title only. That was established next generation.
Yeah.
Also, that when he threw that bat the weight, that did not sound like a metal sword.
Yeah, it sounded like chopsticks hitting the floor.
Did they give Quark a
This
fake batlet so to make sure he loses?
This episode was expensive enough. They didn't have money for the sound production people.
Oh my god, I'm not streaming on Amazon anymore.
Amazon works great for me.
It's freezing for me now. Oh well.
You gotta pick a fight with the Comcast guy.
I don't even have Comcast.
Well, it makes it sound like killing is going to be easy. They're going to send a Klingon over to.
I assume Comcast doesn't have access to Klingon warriors. I could be wrong. I don't actually have Comcast, so I can't verify that. But I suspect they're probably not trained in battle.
One of us has to call the customer service and wait the 2 hours to ask them if they do.
Gowron calls him pathetic.
And still going with the crazy eyes.
No, not the arms crossed back turn.
Alright, Quark, now you do it. Quark, shun him. You're the leader of a great house now.
Well played, Quark.
Man, they need a
Yes.
dehumidifier or something in this chamber. It's so foggy. It's always like this in Klingon areas.
Oh,
Gowron's trying to be reasonable. Gowron's cool for the moment. Though I noticed in one of those shots, Gowron does just have a wall full of metal spikes for some reason. That's all that's on the wall, it's just spikes. Now, does this have to be witnessed? Because I mean, there's no Klingon witnesses in here. Did you really need to do that?
That, folks, is how most marriages start and how most marriages end.
Are you sure about that? 100%.
No, I love the part when she kisses and spits it out.
I know. And here that was quite a reaction she had to him.
Wait, oh no, sorry, that was Johnny Depp's marriage.
Oh, too soon.
Why don't you give it a try, Keiko? Go play some Tongo. Or not Tongo, Dabo. Go give it a shot.
Amazon is killing me.
So this whole episode exists because they already set up the geopolitics of the first episode. So now they need to like do some character development where the plot doesn't move forward at all as a series.
Just give everyone a chance to relax a little bit after the revelations in the last episode.
So yeah. Now we know who Odo is. Now we know who the Dominion is. Now we know what the founders are. So we needed a little light humor.
It's like how we get the baseball episode when the series starts getting really dark at the end.
I think for me, the exemplar would be in the show Breaking Bad is like they have one whole episode where the chemistry teacher is trying to find a fly in his
Yeah.
laboratory. He spends the whole episode. It's like, all right, this is the filler episode.
I mean, hey, if the fly gets into the meth tank, that's going to ruin the whole batch.
Yep.
Got to deal with it.
Buzz, buzz, buzz. Buzz, buzz.
All right, and with
Aw.
Keiko gone for 6 months, he has plenty of time to make inroads with Julian.
Exactly.
Look,
And go to jail.
no one has read more slash fiction than me, so please, let's just stay away from that topic.
Wait, what? Money isn't everything? That doesn't sound like a rule of acquisition to me, Rom. He's just the worst for... I mean, even look at his ears. He has small lobes. Look at that man.
Size queen, I tell you.
It's all about the size of your lobes. Rom does not have the lobes for business.
Even though you were there.
It's nice to see two brothers getting along.
Including Quark taking the money out of his paycheck. That's... I mean,
Right.
we all know exploitation begins at home.
I think most people have an older brother like that.
All right, so that's the last episode for this week. Next
So
week is going to be the end of TNG Season 2. I think we are going to do Shades of Grey at the end there. So I don't want to start a stream with Shades of Grey. But I'm happy to end a stream with Shades of Grey.
That sounds fair.
So thanks for having me on, letting me chat. I do appreciate it. How often do you do this?
Same time every week. Saturday is TNG, Sunday is DS9, 12 p.m. Pacific or 3 p.m. Eastern. So exactly 3 hours ago. Well, 3 hours, 9 minutes ago.
Please join us.
Yeah.
We'll
always-
we'll do it. This is exactly what I need right now.
We always need more people to fill the dead space.
And I'm such a nerd, you don't even know. So we'll see.
Oh, and also next week, DS9 is going to be the episode about how Dax is kind of like rejecting her symbiont because of the whole murder thing. The previous host. And that's going to relate to Discovery a little bit.
Indeed.
That was a great
That
episode.
should be good.
We have that one.
Controversial too.
We have the one where Kira gets turned into a Cardassian, and then we
Yeah.
have the baby Jem'Hadar.
Should be good. Those are some good episodes. After Shades of Grey.
After Shades of Grey.
The other episodes for season 2 are good. Manhunt is the one where Loxana Troy is racist against some fish people. The Emissary, Worf makes a girlfriend, gets a girlfriend, not makes one.
Yeah.
And
Barclay's
Peak
the one who makes
Performance. Yeah. Peak Performance, which is the war games with the Enterprise. That one's pretty good.
Yep.
Fish people are called
And
Antillians, by the way.
Yeah, and one of those fish people is played by Mick Fleetwood of Fleetwood Mac.
Okay.
Yeah.
So yeah, that's that. That should be good. Should be fun. But most importantly, I'm not entirely sure where to have the windows on the interior of this house. We definitely need windows. Windows are very important. Like if
On
I
Minecraft, by the way.
put a window here and here, I can't put a window here because there's a hill in the way in that direction. I can't really have windows. What I could do is I could have like, let me get some glass. Where did I put it? Get some glass here. And then I could either put glowstone or water back there and have it like a little feature. Since I can't have real windows. It's built into a mountain. I don't know. We'll have to work it out. Figure out something that looks good. Anyway, that's enough for today. We're done
Thank you,
here.
chat. Welcome, Deblo. Thank you, Harmonix. Thank you, Michael. Thank you, Ryan. Have a great weekend. Whatever.
Everyone go away.
Yep.
See you next week.
Bye-bye.
See you.
A good week, everybody.